Okay, so Pavel, nice to have you join us. Good to see you. We're doing Into the Metaverse, Web3 Gaming. We're starting off with a definition of Metaverse, because we're doing like, first principles. So please.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, there's a lot of different definitions floating around. So somebody might disagree with me, but in my view, the metaverse is basically all virtual spaces where you log in digitally, you can shop, you can play games. It's not only Web3, it's also Web2. It could be playing Fortnite or Roblox if you have kids. So basically, it's anywhere you can go on digitally as yourself or a different avatar, and then shop or do something online. So basically, a very broad definition of the metaverse.
Let me put it this way. What's not the metaverse?
Well, this unless, well, we're being filmed. No.
Okay, so this physical space, what we think is real life, is not.
Yeah.
Okay. If we wear, I know I'm dating myself for something that didn't really work, but if I'm wearing Google Glass and getting an AR, an augmented reality layover, is that metaverse?
It could be argued that it was. Depends on if you're interacting with other people or what kind of space you are. I mean, there are several AR apps and metaverse type games that I would qualify as metaverse, yes.
And if I'm doing a massive online curriculum like, Coursera or whatever they're called now.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, that lacks the immersive experience. I mean, it's kind of need like a interface or some kind of.
Okay, so part of metaverse is the sensation of being there.
Being there, and not here, kind of, right?
There, not here. Okay,
Yeah.
I like it. Lluis. Sorry, microphone, please. Or
Hola? Yeah.
maybe button. Button's up, it's not working. Maybe button. Anyways, go ahead. Thank you.
So we can talk that metaverse like a fully immersed experience of the current internet. So we have now a very primitive internet that we can socialize, we can do things, but metaverse is like the next what's coming in the internet. It's a fully experience, and it's connected with these new technologies that allowed us to do so many things in a very realistic way. So then we can interact with, we will have this hybrid life, no, with the digital twin and your physical. But it's like a full immersion experience with internet. It's this short.
So it's a fully immersive experience. It's the same point I think you were making. You're there, you're not necessarily here. It's another sensory universe wrapped around you.
Yeah. I think that it will be a challenge to educate psychologically people, because really it's like another thing, yeah, So it's two places at the same time, but yeah.
Interesting. And Pavel, I know you're very passionate and almost ideological or philosophical about internet and crypto and blockchain and what it can do. So I want you to give us your spin on what the metaverse is, but also why it matters.
Sure. I would say metaverse is opposite of being mindful, like the colleagues mentioned here, when you're there and not here. Maybe let's ask audience a question. World of Warcraft, massively online multiplayer world. You can play it for 12 hours, get completely lost into it. Can you raise your hand? Who of you think World of Warcraft is a metaverse? Solid amount of hands, less than half though. Would you guys say it is? Me too, yeah. Would you say Tolkien's world of Lord of the Rings is a metaverse?
You're saying just the idea of it or something more?
That world, the hobbits, elves, Sauron's eye up there. Yeah. Can you raise your hand? Is it a metaverse? It is sort of a metaverse. You cannot interact with it though, other than like watching a movie. I mean, you could play a game in that world. That could like make it a metaverse. Yeah, why it matters? Uh, there could be a cynical take and an optimistic take.
Wait,
Like
let me try something, and I'm going to show that I'm a real nerd, and hopefully, who's actually played Dungeons and Dragons? Okay, is that a metaverse? Mary. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good take. Like what the guys mentioned, you can interact with it in a digital space somewhat. But I think we've just proven that metaverse is a confusing term first and foremost. And yeah, why it matters? You can produce better games. You can own parts of this world in the form of NFTs, so players can justify their spend. I mean, attention is one of the scarcest resources in the world, so it matters for advertising, matters for gaming. So in a digital Web3 form of metaverse, you can make players part of it and also own it and earn in it. That would be kind of the most breakthrough take on it.
Let me stay with you for a minute. So you brought in the next term. I always like to sort of define terms. So we've sort of defined metaverse, Web3. How do we know that something is Web3?
Yeah, I would say it's on blockchain. There's NFTs you can earn by playing.
Okay, so inherent to Web3 is the concept of blockchain.
Kind of, for me, yes.
Okay, and do you have an additional take?
I agree. I agree with that.
Internet of ownership. Web3.
Fair enough. Okay, so let's kind of ladder up and build on these two concepts. So we have the metaverse, which we sort of agree is an immersive virtual world that's not our existing world, but some other place we go to that has some elements of functionality attached to it. We have Web3, which is, I guess you could say, sort of blockchain-based internet and functionality. We're merging these together, and we're getting gaming. You know, we're kind of stacking, you know, we're climbing the ladder of these concepts. What is so special or unique about gaming in this environment? What do we have now, or what do we have growing that wasn't there before? And anyone who wants to take it.
If we can give to the audience some data, everybody will understand why we're talking about gaming. Right now, there are 2 billion of people in the world that they are gamers. It's 30% of population, 30% of worldwide population. 50% of them are in Asia Pacific. And the trend is that in the 3-4 next years, 50% of worldwide population will be gamers in one or some way. So we are talking about huge numbers. And talking about gaming is a higher industry than movies and music together. So the numbers that they are moving, it's massive. It's bigger than Hollywood, bigger than Spotify, and it's involved in the 2 billion people daily basis, what they are doing. So numbers are real. These companies have profits, huge profits, and they are doing billions of transactions every single day. So if you put a layer of blockchain there, makes all the sense in a real industry, not in this metaverse that in this virtual world that who is going to go there. No. It's real. It's a traditional business. Traditional business.
But if you want to comment, how does the concept of gaming evolve, I guess? You know, a game is, I guess, a moving target. What is a game? The definition evolves over time. How can we understand the term gaming in this sort of metaverse Web3 world?
Maybe Morten, you're the GameFi founder. Yeah. He's developing that, so let's ask him.
Yeah. How it's evolving, one of the basic first things that comes to mind, of course, as we've seen with these play-to-earn games that has come out so far, is people buy NFTs and they can use them in a game, so they kind of take over the ownership of something that usually was reserved for the game studio, like your avatar or in-game assets or something else. And what we've also seen, and that has not been possible in like traditional gaming, is that a lot of these crypto NFT projects work together. So one avatar might work in one game and it might work in another game. Of course.
I think that's worth highlighting. The Metaverse, as I understand, is not just a particular one vendor online environment. There's something stitching them together, maybe into some sort of ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, it is how the whole Web3 space is a lot of people are working together across projects, right? And you can feel it just at this conference as well. Everybody's open and want to work together. And that has not traditionally been seen in like game industry or other industries before, right? So that kind of spills out also with gaming. And for us, for example, we have lots of, we integrated with AR projects. We are in other worlds, so online worlds, virtual worlds as well. And there's that, and then there's also the fact that you can, and that was one of the earliest ideas that I think that you could play the game, and then when you kind of tire of it after some time, you can just sell your assets, was the idea at least, and then go play another game and spend the funds in something else instead.
You know, and I just realized, my fault, I skipped something at the beginning of this session that I normally do. I've been doing it all day, which is sort of give me, you know, who you are. I mean, I said your name, obviously, but, you know, I skipped what your company is and your origin story, and you're a new guest on the panel, so please give us a moment about you.
Oh yeah, I'm the first new one, yeah. So my name is Morten. I'm co-creator of CryptoWalkers. We did with one of the first NFT drops that did full body, fully rigged 3D avatars last year. We built upon that, done a few other drops, built upon that since then. We're creating a play and earn shooter game and an open virtual world, like an adventure game. So two separate games, both on Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, I'm sure I'll come more into that later. And as for me personally, I'm originally a lawyer. I was...
So wait, you stopped practicing law?
Only... I escaped. No, but I kind of went into helping startups almost 20 years ago. My first client was Skype, which exited quite nicely. And I kind of built up on that. And I've worked with maybe 200 plus startups since then. And some of them crypto. And yeah, that started some things for myself as well. And this is one of them.
What attracts you personally to this sort of gaming universe? What games? I mean, it's not Skype, so.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of games as well. I've also played a lot of games, and one of our partners, early partners in this project, Outlier Ventures, they kind of nudged us as well in this direction, yeah, we kind of moved on from there, and I don't know if I should come into like how we're different, but
sure.
What we're doing differently is that we actually hired a lot of ex-C-level directors from AAA studios like EA and other big names, and that know nothing of crypto, and they're building our game and world for us. And then we are also, of course, injecting crypto into that, but we're focusing on creating a fun game, a game that you can play whether you know crypto or you don't. Yeah, so taking that approach, that's what we're focusing on.
Interesting, thank you. And then, Pavel, let me take it to you. So one of the topics you mentioned sort of in our pre-chat was the concept of GameFi. And that seems to be, and you kind of have to bring up crypto. There's a merging, of course, between blockchain sort of implies crypto, but I mean, this plus crypto gives you GameFi. What is that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, Morten mentioned this idea of composability or transferability of avatars among various games. So that obviously has deep roots in the whole crypto DeFi movements where you can interact protocol with protocol seamlessly. And so in the grander vision, crypto and blockchain is continuation of digital revolution. Like all the services and entertainment, like everything that can be digital is going digital. I mean, nobody goes to the post office, like Royal Mall, to send a package. It's now WhatsApp's, emails. So the same thing is happening in games. So GameFi basically is a combination of game with financial elements. I was here last year talking about this play-to-earn revolution. We were talking about Axis, and then you had like Rabada and Stepan, and all these games that I'd consider like 1.0 play-to-earn games because the gameplay was relatively simple. I guess, have you guys seen Flappy Bird? Mobile game, you know,
sure.
you click, it's very simple. Like in Stepan, you have a shoe and you just walk. In Axis or Krabada, you have three creatures and you kind of have a simple fight game. And last year, the market was really excited about this fact that you can win in this game and get rewarded for your playtime. And investors, as usually, got ahead of themselves and really threw a lot of money on this concept. So the valuations were sky high. I was already last year kind of telling people, hey, SLP will go down, be careful. So people realized that in GameFi, you still have input and output equation. Like whatever one player earns as a reward, there must be a source. And in my opinion, like this source will in the future be spenders. I mean, we have people spending money in games already now, and from this spender budget, you can kind of, you know, reward players, invest into growth, keep some company or protocol profits. It's, by the way, very similar to online poker. We had similar boom and bust in online poker industry where, you know, more and more players thought, oh, there's free money on the table, let me go there and win. But eventually, when the spenders were being less entertained, it went dry for the winners. So I guess in GameFi, you want to cater for all these segments of player population.
And does GameFi, Lluis, you want to comment?
Regarding that, they are talking that it's a clear example of where blockchain is solving a problem. There is a dark market right now when players stop play one game and they want to change this experience to another players, anonymous people, and maybe they steal the money or they are cheated. Or so here, blockchain is putting a framework of transparency and trust in order that this is not going to happen. So this is a very good thing that about blockchain in this space. And there, talking about that, it's that when you are talking about gamify, there are two concepts. We are, in order to make the approach to this world and in order that how we invest in this world, we try to separate what is esports, that esports is about tournaments, about competitions, and what is gaming. Gaming, we understand like leisure. Leisure, like you can discover these virtual worlds, this just game, play a game, or the new socialization, the new Facebook, the new Instagram that you go there, you socialize new people. And this interaction between competitions and this leisure experience generate business models because you can, I don't know, you are playing a game, then meet one guy, then buy a ticket for the concert of Bruce Springsteen in the digital world, and there things happen. So this interoperability and business models crossing between different areas, business areas, are very interesting.
Interesting. So I have a slightly bizarre philosophical question, which is, are these experiences real? And why?
So are you talking about if it's real?
Yeah. I know it's kind of a weird question, but maybe it's something I struggle with at a certain age. Is the metaverse and the gaming experience real?
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to be, I don't know, hybrid life, physical and digital, and I don't know, even somebody's talking about put chips and things in our body. So it's a little scary thing in this way, but it seems that it's the future.
It's definitely the future. I agree. Or let me tease that out a little bit more. There seems, there was a big talk about a year or so ago, or a little bit more, about gamifying certain aspects of life, and that helps people achieve things. If you're kind of mentally keeping score, if you have certain thresholds you can reach, and then people see it on a leaderboard, I wonder if there's some kind of productive interface between Metaverse gaming, Web 3.0, and non-Metaverse real-life economic activities. Do these two cross over? Do they integrate at all? Or is it we're going to spend our free time in the Metaverse and the rest of our time here? I know I'm going off the deep end. I'm going deep, but I just, see if it rings anything.
Yeah, I mean, a lot have already crossed over. I mean, like a lot of, for example, apps and games and other things you've been already measuring yourself on a leaderboard, right? So, from our sake, for example, we do take a lot of the meta from games and see what makes people come back and all that, right? Which is leaderboards and guilds and all sorts of other things. Whether it's, it will merge more and more together, the metaverse and the real world. I guess it's already starting a lot, right?
I think you're right. I think we're going to get there. I'm challenged to visualize what it will look like.
Yeah, I mean, gamification works. I wear Fitbit, I'm checking my steps and makes me more healthy.
Yes, sure.
Like Duolingo, you learn languages, you have a progression tree, you enjoy it. I think the idea of metaverse and GameFi is basically these leaderboards will be more and more paired with monetary rewards. So it will motivate those really try-harders to earn from the game. But in order for some people to be able to earn, obviously other people need to be casual and enjoy it enough to pay for the experience. I mean, in online poker you had the same. You had billionaires who enjoyed being televised in full tilt poker, playing with Tom Durdwan and Jungleman and Daniel Negreanu. And they were willing to spend millions of dollars losing because they just thought it's cool. So it's changing the game, but the concept is kind of staying the same. Also, I think in terms of these leaderboards, what's really interesting is what's the most kind of primitive GameFi? What's the easiest version of GameFi? So if you look at, for example, Dota or League of Legends or CSGO, they already have skins. Right? So players get rewarded, but the big difference is these skins are not NFTs. So you can, as a player, you can only trade them on Steam for some kind of voucher. You can buy a new game. And when I talk with young gamers, and we hired some of them as researchers in our fund, because obviously they have unique experience, this young generation, which we don't have as researchers, they said, hey, I have $500 locked in Steam that I accumulated over the years playing 7,000 hours of League of Legends. Now I just would love to sell them for real money, not like just other games. And this is exactly what blockchain and NFT marketplaces bring. So Morten mentioned also this concept of interoperability and using your assets in other games. We're still kind of early for this, so the games are being kind of developed in separation, in silos, but you can already see the top leading NFT projects, like Apes and Punks and other things, that even the new games try to already have interfaces for them to bring their avatar in that game, because they see, hey, that's the rich kind of segment. They bought these expensive NFTs. Let's allow them to signal their status also in our game.
Interesting. And you anticipate the next question, which is, if you're projecting 2 or 3 years out, and we'll end with this, if you're projecting 2 or 3 years out, where are we with all this? What will be available that's not available now?
Yeah, so in short, we have NFTs, we have NFT marketplaces, we have ability to transact freely, so people can exchange these in-game items for other items or for money. And also crypto enabled a huge wave of capital formation through tokens. I mean, that's the best killer feature of crypto, that you can fund stuff. So through tokens, obviously players can participate on the success of the game. So that's what games traditional games don't have. So I also was talking about it last year. So basically you have a game, they own their data, it's like a silo, they work for profits, whereas Web3 enables community to kind of join in and share in the success.
Lluis, do you want to come? I'll just work
yeah.
down.
Yeah, there are these, in these traditional games, okay, there are millions of users and gamers that they are not in crypto, but these teams are making steps closer to blockchain and Web3 world because they start to understand that this reward system of the community, all the benefits that blockchain can bring to this sector. So in this case, Gamify, it's one of the big next trends that is coming and can bring crypto to the mass adoption, you know. And one thing also that we saw last year that I think that, and with this now market how it is right now, that we will see that the focus has to be in the game experience, in the mechanics, in the enjoyment of the user, and money came later. So because we saw examples that they try to build some kind of play-to-earn games only to speculation, and this has a short life, you know. So the focus has to be in the game. So thinking in the user, thinking in the logic, thinking in the benefit of the whole infrastructure, no? Players, creators, developers, and so this is an interesting point.
Great. Warren, last word for you.
What I wanted to add was what we'll have in 2-3 years as well is hopefully like 100, 200 million players onboarded as well. Not necessarily, well, some of them will be in crypto, but I believe that, for example, from our sake, what we're doing is you can go and come and play our game, which is not out yet though, but you will be able to play our game in a free-to-play version. You don't need to buy an NFT, you don't need a MetaMask. We're developing for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. And underneath everything, there will be blockchain tech, and it will be NFTs, but you don't have to relate to it if you don't want to. And basically, that will, I believe, bring in mass adoption as well to crypto, because at some point they will realize, or they will tire of the game and say, okay, maybe we should just sell this, or they realize that the points they got was actually tokens or something similar. So yeah, just wanted to add that.
Fantastic. Great last comment. All right, big round of applause, please, for our panel. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Good job.